All right, welcome back to Rob Schmidt tonight. The power of the Trump endorsement obviously can make or break candidates in a race. In the upcoming midterms, Tennessee's 5th district is wide open. Republican candidate Robbie Starbuck is drawing a lot of support from the America First crowd, but Morgan Ortagus, who worked in Pompeo and Trump's State Department and is a frequent guest on this show, has already received a pre-endorsement from the former president before even officially announcing her run, a move that some Republicans are criticizing Donald Trump, the former president, for. I asked the former president about this and the Ortagus endorsement over Robbie Starbuck today.
Well, I didn't know Robbie Starbuck. I have known Morgan. She's been in the administration. She did a good job. I've done a lot of things that were somewhat controversial, and they've worked out, you know.
And Morgan Ortagus joins us now to talk more about this. Morgan, good to see you. You've got the endorsement.
Hi, Rob.
Should you make this decision? Where are you at in that decision? And also your thoughts on your potential opponent, Robbie Starbuck, who Trump actually pointed out today has tweeted in the past that he evidently voted for Barack Obama in either 2008 or 2012 or both.
Yeah, Rob, first of all, let me just say thanks for being on your show. It's always great to be with you.
Sure, yeah.
I am always happy and honored to have the support of President Trump. You know, I really worked with him in the trenches for 2 years as his State Department spokesperson. I went around the world. I think I went to over 50 countries with Mike Pompeo. And I think that he was the greatest president in my lifetime, especially on foreign policy. And no one saw that more firsthand than me. We did things like, you know, holding Iran accountable. The maximum economic pressure campaign against them. We worked heavily with President Trump to expose China and to expose them for many things, not only, you know, what they did on the trade side of things, not only for stealing intellectual property, but most importantly for unleashing this pandemic on the entire world and not being held accountable for it. So I could go around the world, Venezuela, the Middle East. I mean, the Middle East, I didn't even lead with that. Like, we handed President Biden the first peace deals between Israel and Arab states in 26 years. That's called the Abraham Accords. I worked closely with the president, with Jared Kushner, Mike Pompeo, and the entire team on this. And so it was the honor of my lifetime to work for him. I think over those 2 years, I earned his faith and confidence. And no matter what I do, Rob, I will always work with him to put America first.
Well said. I want to move on and talk about Russia and Ukraine here for just a second. Today, there was some moments today. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson went to Ukraine to put the finishing touches on this pact that we're seeing between Great Britain, Poland, and Ukraine. Two nations of Poland and Great Britain coming together to the aid of Ukraine in the event of a Russian invasion. And Putin saying today that the U.S. and NATO ignored Russia's security concerns amid the standoff over Ukraine. What do you make of the situation as it stands tonight?
Yeah, I thought it was a positive announcement for what the United Kingdom and Poland are doing. I mean, this is in Europe, right? This is where the battle is, where the war on ideas and where all the cyber attacks, this is where it's taking place. And, you know, we've talked a lot about this in foreign policy circles, and I think people are just now beginning to understand why President Trump pushed NATO so much to pay their fair share. The fundamental principle of NATO and President Trump's push to get everyone to pay their fair share was that so we would all equally be in the fight together. And here's the problem when countries like Germany don't pay their fair share, when they get dependent on Russia for their energy, for their gas. Then when it comes down to having a conflict and you want the allies to stick together, well, the British haven't even been able to fly their aid and their support to Ukraine through Germany because Germany wants no part of it because they're dependent on the Russians. So I think it's really important to remember it's not just about this conflict at the moment. You remember that the Russians did nothing like this when on President Trump's watch. Why? Because they knew that they wouldn't be able to get away with something like this. Yeah. And Rob, as we've talked about the world and every time there's a conflict, every time you and I talk about it, whether it's Afghanistan or North Korea or Russia or Iran, it comes down to one fundamental point, that weak presidents breed war, not strong presidents. And that's what we're seeing today. And that's why President Trump pushed NATO so heavily.
Yeah. It's a very, very, very good point. Morgan Ortagus, thank you for taking the time. Good to see you.
Thank you, Rob.